you lose your mental situation on the pitch, this is what happens.
They're motivated by the fans, but what they don't understand is that some of these players don't have the emotional control to handle that fandom, that stardom. And Drincic, a young player, 24 years of age, comes across, he gets all this backing, all this energy, and he didn't channel it correctly, and he's got himself a 3-match ban.
Is that an issue, Kerala Blasters? Is it too much of an emotional club? Do they have to detach sometimes, just during these kind of games?
I think this is what will lose a lot of points for them, right? That's what they did. They were on a high on momentum, back-to-back wins. I think this is what they have to do. They have to tell their players, calm down when situations go bad and not on your side. We're talking about aggression. We have Mr. Joe Paul's team right there, the KBFC 11.
What do you think of this one, Eric? I mean, most of it is just, it's basic because Naocha and Sandeep, but they have to step up now. Is this what you expect the 11 to be?
It is, I think so, and I wouldn't have expected this 11 at the start of the season. You know, Leskovic has been injured for the large part, and we're still waiting to see from him. Vibben, he's got a massive responsibility now because Jeekson's going to be out for 2 or 3 months, so we've seen a little piece of him. Now he has to put back-to-back performances there. Daisuke, I want to see more. But the front two, you know there's quality, there's goals. I think Joe Paul knows better than I do.
Have they lost just a little bit of, there's a quality of the unknown about Vukomanovic's selections before this, but now it's out there. Azhar and Ayman obviously center stage on social media as well. But when everyone can almost guess your lineup, you know that the Kerala Blasters, just due to injury and suspensions, are suffering, and these players have to make it count.
Yeah, now is their time to shine, right? They were waiting for so long, and maybe not a good time to get out there because you have your star players injured, but here's where they have to make it their moment. And it is a big responsibility, but I'm sure the fans are going to back them, as we know.
Yeah, don't quote me on it, but you'd love to play for this club. You'd love to play for the Kerala Blasters because they're supported so well. You've got 50,000 people screaming your name each and every game. One thing is being a quality footballer. One thing is about having a good first touch and being fit. The biggest thing in football, can I handle the pressure in the pressure moments? And at Kerala Blasters, these young players are now going to have to learn that quality.
What does the head coach usually say when to a young player? Just go out and show me what you're made of?
Depends on the player, obviously, and I think for the young players going out, they're getting told left, right and centre so much information these days. If you can just go into your own shell and you can actually just focus on what your job is, then you have to already know what you're doing before the head coach comes in.
Well, the last time the Northeast beat Kerala Blasters, it was Apuya, and he scored that incredible goal and they went into the knockouts. They have to get this. They have to get across the line in Kochi. It defines how strong a team is.
Now, if what you meant was to ask me, can Parthib Gogoi do Apuya? I'm not sure of that, but does he have it to do it? Yes, he does. He's got 3 matches, 3 goals in his hand, and this man needs to fire once again.
Yeah, well, my captain's there on the left, Adrian Luna. I think a lot of people have him as the captain, but Partib, he made his way into my 11 this week because it was a big change. Obviously, the big teams aren't playing, but Partib Gogoi, can he score again? Can he score on the big stage tonight? That's the next test for him.
A big test for Mark Tompkins as well. We're all checking on his ability.
Wow.
84 points last time out, or probably totally in fact, but free hit. This is the side he's picked only for this game week. What do you think?
Not bad, I would say, because he is a man with a lot of details and research and all of paperwork that he does that we know. We see intelligence right there on the pitch. Can this fire? We'll have to wait and watch.
Now, to be fair to Mark, he came in late to our league, so I think he's got a few more points than that. But he's had a look at the fixtures. Can't have Mumbai City players. You know, you can't have Odisha. They're playing Mohun Bagan as well. So that's a good, solid 11. But what's he going to do next week? Is there a wild card he has to play?
Ooh, we have to ask him in about a couple of hours, but this is brilliant. Ray Tachikawa especially, with the free kicks. Ricky is solid. Preetham, so he is banking on a clean sheet. That's very interesting. But a lot of firepower up front. So all of you with your fantasy strategies, good luck getting a lot of points, but not more points than myself. In any case, here's the main man for Northeast, Falguni. We didn't think he would step up like this, did we?
I think that's what players are meant for, right? And that's where we kind of see how these guys know that this is my moment. I need to make it, and I think that's where players like Falguni or Ashir, all the other guys, while the young ones are also, taking the limelight. These guys are like, hey, we are here too, and we've earned it. And Danish, what a goal from in the away fixture.
That's what you want, a player that steps in and scores goals unexpectedly. And that's been part of his career. Even when he played at BFC, he was popping up on the edge of the box. But he has a really important challenge now to be that older player in the midfield. And especially when they've got players like Freddie coming off the bench, a younger player who can handle the occasion, by the way. I really like how he's gone about it so far.
Do you think ISL head coaches are seriously scouting I-League talent now? The way Freddie is playing, the way Falguni is stepped up, a lot of the Northeast players as well. There is one eye firmly, and obviously these two men have it in them. This is the first game. But do you think that's happening?
Well, as you mentioned, like these players have to kind of buckle up, and they have to make it a really, really important fact that they have to play, give it our best.
Well, some news is coming in. Noah is injured.
No
It's
way.
a bad landing.
Yeah, it looks as though he's landed and jarred the lower back as he's landed. We don't have a replay, do we, obviously? But it looks as though that's uncomfortable. But I wouldn't say, when you jar your back, maybe you can massage it out, maybe you can stretch it out. We're hoping, fingers crossed, it's not going to keep him out of the game, but that does not look good.
They stretch it off right from the warm-ups, and massive loss in terms of the entertainment factor as well.
Well, you have to say advantage Carlos Quadra, because that's the secret weapon that Manolo Marquez has. You can play for a draw, you can play away from home, but playing in that corner, Noah Sadoy, he's the outlet.
Well, we wish we could have asked them about this injury, but Eric did have a chat with Carlos Cuadrat and Manolo Marquez just a while ago.
Carlos, the game has been moved to Bhubaneswar. You were offered the chance to play at the Salt Lake Stadium at home at a later date. What was the thinking in taking the game here and now?
Yeah, we should to move, because otherwise we should play only one official match in October. So it was our decision just to take advantage of the calendar and to play, because it's that kind of things that happen sometimes in the calendar. It's complicated a lot of times in Indian football. So we decided not to postpone that match. It was important to play because we are fit, we are ready for the match. So we want to play. Definitely we want to play. And unfortunately we have to move out of our stadium. And yeah, here it's going to be the same for both teams. We are losing the advantage to play at Salt Lake, that we are really being helped a lot for our supporters. But our work is to try to get the 3 points, no question about that.
It's been quite the international break for you. You went to Turkey, spent some time with Arda Turan, had some time with Ronaldinho. How important is it maintaining those relationships in football, and how can that help East Bengal Football Club?
Yeah, no, the FIFA break is just to disconnect a little bit, because we give a lot of information to the players. We are pushing them a lot to be competitive, so we need some days out, and then just to focus in our club and in our competition. So it's just to try to improve the team, and it's what we have been doing. We have been practicing one friendly match against Neroka during these days, and also we have been working in some tactics, and yeah, at the end we are building a new project, and we are trying to take advantage of every single training.
In the last game, Jay Gupta got the winner in the 96th minute. Just how good is he, and how have you enjoyed coaching him?
Well, was a great discovery. In fact, was Josep Gumbau who told me that this guy was playing in Spain and close to my home, and then he told me that the idea to come back to India after 7 years, because he played in Portugal too. And I think he's a player with a great future. He's only 21, 22 years old, and he's a player with a great future. And we could see the goal that he scored was a great goal. It's not his job, but obviously was a fantastic, not only goal, was a fantastic win for the team, and more because we scored practically in the last option of the game.
Thanks, Manolo. Good luck in Bhubaneswar.
Thank you very much.
So Jai Gupta, all eyes on him, and there was a real worry when they lost Iban in the transfer market, but the way Jai Gupta has stepped up, and he also has a great way of talking, but not just that, it's also about confidence not just to take on the shot, but to then find Manolo and force him to celebrate. You spoke with him about that, Siju, and he has a streak in his personality, doesn't he?
Yeah, I asked him about it, like what was that about, and I asked him what did the coach actually tell him. He was like, nobody has ever celebrated a goal with me. I think Manolo Marquez has to get used to this, if this is what it's going to take.
It's not normal, huh? Having someone like Jai Gupta, in terms of having talent that is Indian, that's lived and breathed and played overseas. This is someone we have to nurture now. This could be the Sunil Chetris of left backs. And they were saying that after 2 games. Imagine after 5, 6, 7, 8. I want to see more of him.
He's just 21, and when you speak to him, you really don't understand. He's like, so the maturity in his voice, I think that's what it does. When you're 7 years out of the country, the exposure, the flavor he's got in Portugal and in Spain. So it's definitely a big one to look forward to.
One of the reasons Manolo Marquez was not too pleased is because of the sheer number of chances they missed, and cross after cross, great deliveries, is just that finishing touch, and that's what probably frustrates him.
It is, and look how far Noah Sadoi gets on every one of these plays. He had something like 21 crosses in the first 2 games. They're getting numbers in the box, but just finishing. I don't know if it's a formation thing for them. Carlos Martinez, he's a kind of a goal poacher that stands around waiting for the ball, but they have so many good options. I'm sure that they would have been working on their finishing this week at training, but that delivery, it's always there from Brandon.
I think that's what they can't do tonight against East Bengal, right? Because now that we don't know for sure is Noah going to come back or not, and they're going to bank, it's going to be pressure on Manolo's side.
Noah's injured. There could be a possible replacement. Is there one that you see on the bench?
I wouldn't put Victor Rodriguez in the whole foreigner for foreigner. I would put Boris in. Straight in. Put him in. Let him run them down with energy. Rakip's expecting to have that role of responsibility that I'm going to be in for a tough night. Let him have one, because Victor Rodriguez coming inside, it's not the play. Let Boris get in there.
Saul Crespo has been so important to the way East Bengal function as well. Look at the number of chances created. You would never imagine Saul Crespo and Brandon to have created the same number of chances.
It's insane, right? The combination, and it's such a lovely treat that we get to watch these two against each other in some time. But I think, again, when you say pressure on Manolo, there's also pressure on Carles, because his team has now got to perform. Kind of dwindling start, 3 games, a win, a draw, a loss, home away from home. There's a lot to do for them to perform.
The only thing missing from these two is an assist. And they've been so dominant. Crespo's stepped in and had a high percentage of passes in the opposition half. He's the highest in the league. And also his duels. He's winning a lot of those too.
Well, duels for Sandesh and Mahesh as well coming up against each other. Here's what they had to say.
Talk to us about your opponent tonight, Mahesh, one of your teammates in the national team. He seems to be on fire at the moment. How do you stop him?
Well, he's a top player. I think he's one of the finds of the season last year, and I enjoy watching him play as well, and being his teammate as well in the national team. So his quality is there, and a good player. And but you never focus. I personally never focus on one player so much. I think their team has a lot of top players. Don't want to start naming them now, but they're a good side. Have a great coach, for whom I have massive respect. And it's all about stopping the team rather than just focusing on one player, I think.
Sandesh, thanks for your time, mate. All the best. You've got to get past Sandesh tonight. You've been around him in the national team set up for a while now. Are you confident you know how to outfox him in the box?
Yeah, sure. He's a really tough player, and obviously we're going to have trouble facing him. So I think we can do something better today against him.
Mahesh, you're in fine form, mate. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Well, just in case you're joining us, we have so many entertainers on the pitch for you, but one of them, Noah Sadawi for Goa, has been injured during the warm-up. So Mahesh, of course, is very fit, but this is how it happened.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch it there. It looked as though he held his back before he tried to jump that third time, but he's in a large amount of pain, and we don't know what to expect now because Noah Sadoy, and one thing about him is his availability. He's never had an injury. He's always available. When it's the lower back, maybe it's from travel, a bad mattress at the hotel, but this guy, he always has a plan.
It's going to be a big miss, Noah. When we saw him, was getting warmed up. He got 2 goals the last game, and I'm sure he was wanting to go out there and make the most. But football is sport at times, does not go well with you.
Well, from the reaction of Rainier, it seems like Victor Rodriguez might be stepping in.
Yeah, he's a great replacement. I just think in terms of going away from home, we know the energy that Boris brings. I want to see him on the pitch more. Haven't seen enough of Boris, and we've seen a lot of Victor Rodriguez, but he steps in there, he's quality on the ball, he'll keep possession better, and maybe, we'll see Boris in the second half.
Absolutely. Boris as well, very, very... He knows Jamshedpur and that stadium like the back of his hand, but Victor Rodriguez will have to step up. It looks like the decision has already been taken, but what a massive day. It's not just about East Bengal and Goa. The second one, the Blasters against Northeast. The last time, of course, that Vukomanovic will not be on the pitch. He will be back against Odisha. But a first trip for Juan Pedro to Kochi.
Yes, and a taste of what it's like to have a full game, a full powerhouse stadium going to be there. But I think he knows what to do. They've been away at Punjab and they got a point from there. Can they do that once again? Can Parthiv score for the 4th time in a row in this season? What a question to look forward to.
Yeah, it's one thing to say we've got a good team, we've had a good result at home, we scored some good goals, but to go away to the Kerala Blast, that's a hard place to go. But you can see FC Goa now pulling no stops on warming up the rest of the players.
Well, what can Clayton and Brandon produce for their sides? Of course, midfield control is what Manolo Marquez wants. Wonder what Carlos Cuadras wants.
Well, I'm sure he definitely wants some charm by Ronaldinho, who visited them. So I hope they have something from that meet and visit and a luck tonight.
Well, I love to have Ronaldinho in the team, but in terms of that, they've got Saul Crespo. That creativity, that's the question mark, I think, for East Bengal. Carlos Quadra, that 4-4-2, quite rigid. But they have Mahesh, and he creates absolutely everything. And it's going to be a cracker of the game. Can't wait.
Well, Lobera also in the house as he continues to watch everything.
It is his house indeed.
It is his house. A massive, massive Super Saturday coming up. Do not go anywhere.